right, we're back here with. Wow, you're crackling and climbing. How come you don't have your headphones on?
Howard.
There's nothing in them.
Yes, there is.
We can't.
Yeah. Do you hear me now? You don't hear me?
No.
Do you hear me now? Ain't working, Howard.
I don't know why the headphones aren't working.
He tore them up.
Oh.
I tore them up. No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Okay,
You sold the good ones on Swap and Shop.
Yeah,
didn't
but
you?
what if somebody calls in? You're going to have to tell us what they're saying.
Well, they won't call in. I won't give out the phone number.
Oh, you mean 728-1321? You're not going to give it out?
I won't tell anybody it's 728.
Okay, don't tell them.
All right.
Hey, so
what is it? This is what? Let's talk antiques.
yeah,
There you go. Oh,
Yeah. We got to do it right.
to
You
the
know?
show.
hey, yeah.
Hey, we're getting all messed up.
I'll tell you what. We look
You know
forward.
why, don't you? Ronnie's not here.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Well, he's. You know, we have a little bit of rental property, and he's the one that maintains it. And he's been working on one project. It's took him 3 days. I mean, it's had saw cut concrete. You know how that works.
Oh boy, that's fun.
But
Made
anyway, you want to
him
do
keep
your little
working.
spiel before we get started?
Okay.
And-
Hey, we're Let's Talk Antiques. You're listening on Thunder Radio, and you can watch us on Charter Channel 193 with P-Head Productions, Light Tube Television, Channel 6, and you can find us anytime on Facebook at Charter. I don't know our Facebook page. I should learn that. But there's also you can
how
go
long
to
you
David
been there?
Pennington's. You know, we've got like 5.
Okay.
And
But
so
how
they
long
kinda
have you
run
worked
together.
there?
16 years.
And you don't even know your Facebook page.
Yeah, well, we've got 5 of them.
And you are the producer, right?
Yeah, and I drop
Okay.
all the videos. On
Okay.
But you can always go to the Let's Talk Antiques Facebook page or David's Facebook
Yeah.
page.
Hop on mine.
His has a lot of crazy stuff on it too.
Yes, it does.
By the way, you didn't put that picture on there.
I know. Well, I came down with the flu last week. When I went home from here. I got this show out, and then last night I was like, I'm almost recovered, but yeah, I pretty much disappeared. Oh, and I had to do Miss Telehome on the weekend, regardless of me being sick.
Oh.
Sick or well, you had to do that, huh? Okay, so a big thing happened this week.
What
over
happened?
in France.
Oh yeah.
So tell people what happened.
Well, the Cathedral of Notre Dame burned down a significant portion of it on today's Wednesday, so it would have been Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Howard says that's Notre Dame. If depends on where you live.
Yeah, whether you're
But we all agreed to call it Dame.
whether you're from North or South France.
Okay. Now there's somebody calling, but guess what, Howard?
What?
We can't hear.
You can't. Okay. Well, I'll see who it is. How's
All right.
that?
Okay.
You're on Let's Talk Antiques.
Oh, I didn't know I was going on
Well-
the radio. I didn't know I was going on the antique show, but I won some tickets from the Manchester Art Center the other day for y'all, where I, guessed the name of the movie.
Uh-huh.
They hadn't called me yet, so I was wondering how.
Well,
what
you'll have
tickets.
call back in the morning when Tiffany's here because she knows all about that, and I don't know
Okay.
anything about them calling you or whatever. So call back in the morning about 8 o'clock.
Okay, but they ain't having the show tonight or nothing, are they?
I don't know, personally.
Okay, I just didn't want to miss it.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Tiffany's judge.
So we don't know what was said because we can't hear. So
Good.
So go ahead there and
Okay.
let's get back on track.
Okay, so the cathedral at Notre Dame was built on a small island. Like I thought it was in downtown Paris.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I didn't realize.
I
it
heard
was
him
on
talking
an
about
island, yeah.
the reason the fire trucks were having difficulty getting there is because it's on an island, and I'm thinking, well, I didn't know that.
It's in the middle of the Seine River. Construction began in 1163 during the reign of King Louis VII and was completed in 1345. So that's nearly 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it was completed before anybody even knew our continent was
Oh,
here,
yeah,
much
yeah.
less the founding of our country.
You know, it's
How
interesting.
old that
It's
place is.
interesting though to see that people had trouble getting contractors to finish their jobs back then as they do today.
Well, evidently,
200 years to build a house.
so the length of that cathedral.
Of course, it's big. It's
yeah.
huge.
Well, the length is 420 feet and the width is 157. But golly,
They didn't have the same stone cutting technology that
No.
we have now either.
No.
So that was, let's say, if you messed up cutting a piece of marble, they chucked it to the side and got a new one.
well, and you know how many members is in that church?
How many people attend? You mean?
Members,
No, I do
just
not.
members.
I do not know.
525,600 members.
Well,
They might not. all
obviously
attend
they did
every
not
week.
attend every Sunday.
If they have a Sunday service, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, how long was it? How long is that building?
It's not. It can't hold that. Not
No.
even a tenth of that.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't have a PA system back in those days either. So if you sat in the back seat, you couldn't hear what was going.
Well, I've been when I was a teenager. I did a Europe tour my senior year of high school,
Uh-huh.
and we went and saw some of the really old cathedrals
Right.
in Austria and Switzerland and stuff, and you could hear in
You-
the back. Of
Well,
it was the acoustics were
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
They really were.
You-
I have
you-
no idea how they did.
You know
that.
what they said? Now this is. I could be misquoting this, but this is what I was told, that it took 1,300 trees to build that thing.
Wow.
Wow.
I could believe it.
But you said it was like kindling, right?
Well, obviously, you know that
800-year-old wood.
800-year-old and dry under a roof like that. So no
Yeah.
wonder it burned so fast and
oiled
hot.
up to look nice every once in a while too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you was talking about going over there. You know, I have two granddaughters, and both of them spent at least a month or longer each. You know, not at the same time. And then the little girl that she came over here and spent some time with us, about a month or so. As a matter of fact, she's coming back this June.
Cool.
She's in college, but she wants to come back and see us.
Oh, good.
Okay, so the reason we wanted to talk about this, first of all, I mean, that's a piece of history if there
Yeah,
ever
it's a
was
shame.
one.
Right. Yeah.
But
obviously.
we was going to talk about stained glass windows, and they was talking about how they saved most of them. Is that right?
Well, since it was being remodeled, a lot of stuff had been taken out.
yeah, that was
So
the
that
fortunate thing
that
here.
was-
A lot of the artifacts and stuff had been removed.
But
because
some
of
got
construction.
destroyed, right?
I'm sure.
I'm
I'm sure.
I'm
lots
sure
of
they
stuff,
did.
yeah.
And-
I think they're just getting in it today to actually see.
Wasn't it amazing, though, that cross was still standing? They said it almost looked like it was lit up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
But when you look at that fire and you look up into those rafters, I mean, I can understand 1,300 trees, can't you?
There was a lot of rafters. Well, there was
A lot of wood.
They had a slate roof on, I believe, didn't it? Not?
Yeah, and the way
And
it was.
you know how much that must have weighed.
Yeah.
So to support that, it was well built.
Yeah, well, there was the flying buttresses and all that
Yeah.
Gothic architecture
Yeah.
things that they had invented right around the time that they built this. Huh.
Now, you know, we think today with our technology how good we build stuff. Look at that.
Yeah.
And look what the tools they had to do it with.
Right.
But look what they created. The pyramids.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
the pyramid.
And
Yeah.
you heard? Did you hear today the like how much money's been
Well,
offered to donate?
one guy
to
didn't he
fix it?
Didn't
What?
he donate almost 400 million?
Well, there's another
billionaire.
two French millionaires or
Billionaires.
Louis
or
Vuitton
billionaires have come
and
up
all
with really fat. And then there's a couple organizations
Yeah.
that have started drives.
Almost $1 billion has been pledged
Yeah.
to it so far.
Ain't that amazing?
Yeah,
I-
that's pretty amazing.
You wonder though, what would it cost to redo it?
$1 billion.
It's going to cost a lot of money to redo it.
And it's going to take them a couple, 3 years. I heard this
Oh,
morning they were
yeah.
saying that in
gonna take a long
2 to
time.
3 years they hope to have it completed. I don't know whether they will or not, but that's what I heard. But what I want to know is where is the Hunchback of Notre Dame living now that he lost his house?
Well,
He
has
probably
it?
has a flat somewhere near there.
You got a flat
He,
nearby.
he probably hadn't lived
He's
there for
probably.
a couple of years.
Don't you imagine? He's probably in the basement.
Well, that's where he hung out most of the time.
Yeah.
Come think of it.
I think he's probably in the basement.
Yeah, that. But you know, history and then a lot of songs or plays, and the novels have come out just because of that building and that that area, as well as the religious significance.
Is
of
it
that
really
building,
true
too.
that if you was fleeing from France, if you got there and got inside, it was like a neutral zone or something? Is that true?
Well, I've heard that
Sanctuary.
churches
Sanctuary, Joe.
at one time churches were supposed to be sanctuaries, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that was honored all the time or not. But at one time, I think if you made it to a church, you were supposed to be in a safe zone. But
Yeah,
I don't-
think there's some.
I think
things
most
like
people-
that in
but-
South America. I think there's some stuff like that.
but the thing is, the guy that's chasing you, whether he's religious or not,
It's whether he's Catholic. I think is the main
well,
thing.
or has any sense of morality. You know what I mean.
Well-
times have changed. But-
It's hard to even imagine a building that beautiful and that large.
Well, yeah.
How many stories is that thing tall? I mean,
It's real tall.
Yeah.
Very, very, very tall. And how did they get the items up there? A lot of the what do they call those ugly things? Gargoyles or gargoyles?
Yeah.
The ugly little creatures. That they were up there. They had to have been sculpted on the ground and then lifted into place. And they didn't have the cranes and stuff like we do.
but they had some kind of
they had pulleys and.
Oh yeah,
stuff
but not
that
like
kind
we
of deal.
have today. Can
No.
you imagine
Yeah.
how much harder it was?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Maybe that's why it took so long to build it.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was.
I mean, they couldn't like set one of those tires in one evening or something like you could
Well,
do today.
now they fly in with a helicopter and set a church steeple,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't have something like that. It had to be hand carried or hand hoisted.
Well,
up
they had to build something to carry it up to it, didn't they? And then tear it back down,
and then
whatever
tear it
the
back
rounds.
down, right?
So there's a lot of time, and I mean, 800 years, and that's how old it is.
Well,
and
that-
they was working on it for a couple hundred or something. Is that what you
and-
said?
Yeah, almost 200.
And
years.
that's
So-
hard.
25% of the time they worked, not counting all the remodeling.
Yeah, that's hard to imagine. You go in our country, you go to Philadelphia or Boston, and where the colonial governments, and they have churches and buildings there that date from the 1700s
Yeah,
or 50,
yeah.
maybe 1600s.
Yeah.
And
Probably 1700s. I don't know if we have much.
Yeah,
Well, that's modern
But
compared to
that's
Europe.
modern compared to Europe. And we had the mentality in this country too for a long time, and now we're starting to see it change. If it was old, you need to tear it down and replace it with something new.
Yeah.
And we tore down a lot of significant buildings and got rid of a lot of stuff that we should have kept
Well, I can tell you one
for our heritage.
two right now. One is the Marshall Theater in Tullahoma, and the other one is the Lyric Theater in Manchester. That's two things that should have never been tore down
No,
here
uh-uh.
in our community.
Yeah.
But it was old and decrepit, and we need to.
But now, you talking about something that was beautiful. The Marshall Theater, it was a work of art.
Well,
I remember, like, I was a kid, I went and saw a couple, like, Star Wars and one other thing when I was probably like 7 or 8.
Remember when you walked in it, how pretty that thing was, and had the spiral staircases?
Yeah, I
and,
just barely remember.
I mean, it was
so.
beautiful.
where
I've
was
seen
it
pictures of
located?
It was do you know where the old post office is in Tullahoma?
Yeah.
The one that the church took over?
Yeah, right behind it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Headed
Uh-huh.
toward the police station. It was right there between the church and the post office.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I think they made a parking lot out of it. You've heard that.
Yeah.
Somebody had a song. What was the name of that song where they tore it down and made a parking lot?
Tore down Paradise and
Yeah.
put up a parking lot. There you go.
Now, on the corner of Jackson and Lincoln, there
Yeah.
was there was a store there that sold antiques.
Yeah.
Was that a movie theater at one time?
No, that was a furniture store.
It was. It looks like it might have been
I don't think it was, but they had several. They had
It's empty
they had
now.
more than one theater
Yeah,
over
it's
there.
empty right
and so did
now.
Manchester.
Huh. Okay.
Well, with that, don't you ain't about time to pay a light bill?
It's about time.
Yeah, let's do
The
it. And then we're gonna.
the lights are flickering a little.
Yeah,
bit here,
so what we're going to do when we come back, we're going to look up some stained glass since that was brought up in the how valuable. So we're going to nothing like what theirs is, but we do have some high dollar stained glass stuff, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back with more on Let's Talk Antiques.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in, get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
All right, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques here on Thunder Radio, and we're looking up some items here a listener has brought in. So, were you able to find anything on that stock certificate there?
Not really on the stock. The
Well, you got it right there. That is it.
Yeah,
1896. That's what this
1896 illustrated. This has the cover letter too, and it brought $21.50 after 12 bids.
Huh.
So, but he had some New York Herald from April 15th, 1865, with Lincoln's assassination, and we've got those at $130 for an original and $81 for a reprint, even so.
My goodness. And there's like, and
so that's
he's
not
got
bad.
like 10 or 12 or
Got it.
more.
No, how many is in that one stack?
And maybe 20?
Probably 20.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Wow.
So
There you go.
even if it was a reproduction, he's got $1,700 worth, and if it's real, it's what? How much was it?
130 each.
Yeah.
there
So
So a couple thousand at least.
yeah. Either way, you've had a good day.
Yeah.
Anybody might want to be interested?
There you go.
Well, I mean,
Call Swap and Shop tomorrow. And
no,
I
well, he
doubt if
calls
it
all the
sells.
time. But I tell you what, you could do with that. There is people that, there's a lady at Madeline's Antiques. You know, exit 105. Take that out there and tell her I told you to come out there, and she can put that on for you. She can actually put it on eBay for you. She'll charge you a percentage. Yeah, you go see her.
That'd be the best way to do something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Bunch of antiques.
Right off the hand, yeah. Well, right off the hand, that's who I definitely can do that for you. But if Ronnie was here, he can even list that kind of stuff. If you want to wait till next week and talk to him, he can do the same thing. So either way, we can get it done for you. You know what? Now this makes this show worth being on the air. Being able to find that stuff for him and help him with it. And anybody else, if you have something, well, I mean, bring it to us. We'll find it. And we got a witness that we can look it up and we can find stuff.
Once in a while.
Now we're just going to talk about stained glass windows,
Right. You mentioned
So
that.
we have some stained glass, and
I've got a rare hand painted Lafarge stained glass window.
now this is sold, right? This
These
is
are
actual
sold,
stuff
yeah.
that's sold.
Let me try and find a little history on this real quick to see, because it's it looks like a church piece. There's Jesus and being handed something. Let's see, Jesus with Mary, stained glass, antique, 47 inches by 31 inches. No story as to what it came out of. It seems like they do that post 1940 though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less than 100 years old though. Oh, and by the way, it's sold for $14,800.
Wow.
Now we usually don't do this, but while he's got that on there on the active side, there's one here of Mary holding baby Jesus, and they're asking $250,000 or best offer for it.
Wow.
You know, asking and
Yeah,
getting is two different
yeah.
stories. But there's a one above that. Now these are not sold. These two I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Philip only talks about sold stuff, but there's one on here of Anton Rubinstein. It's a picture of him in a stained glass window. They're wanting $780,000 or best offer. I heard.
My goodness.
Now, if you'll give me your eBay number, I'll get you
I
a
bet
best
you would.
offer.
I bet you would bid for me.
Oh,
wouldn't you?
absolutely.
Yeah, you're good about that. I'll tell you.
So, Philip,
Now, you're the ones you're quoting or talking about are ones out of churches, probably from the sounds of the subject. You know, but
well, now
wasn't
this particular one's not the second one that I
Yeah.
talked to you about the musician.
Yeah.
It's a Tiffany
okay.
piece.
But you know, it was quite common back in I don't know, the early 1900s or 1900s for houses, regular houses, to have stained glass windows.
And how many got busted up
Well,
and
they
tore down?
tore them up. They didn't think they were worth anything. And if you could find some of those in an older home or older house, perhaps they're
But
worth
you know
a lot of
how,
money.
not just the stained glass now, just about any of that old fancy lathing work and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that you see outside, that decorative stuff that was
Yeah.
on, all that, the doors, the windows,
Your windows, yeah.
Oh.
What do they call that? Gingerbread
yeah,
stuff.
the mantles, all that stuff.
Mantles?
Since all these shows now, and I think my wife's been bitten by that too, but since they have all these shows now, that's the kind of stuff people want.
It's kind of, we're going back a ways.
Well, ain't that what they always say? If you keep it long enough, it'll be back in style.
That's right.
Even bell-bottom pants will be back in style one day.
Yeah, and ties too.
Yeah.
That's why I hang on to all my old
Well,
ties.
I love a tie. I think that's what makes the suit.
That's right.
Now back to you with some sold.
Do you
stained
still
glass.
Do you still have your leisure suit?
No. But now that was a big deal.
I know they were nice too.
Leisure suits and disco.
That's right.
I've got a Lafarge stained glass pair of doors, 8 foot tall, 6 feet wide with the two, and the stained glass is it looks like a Tiffany design, kind of going down the middle. It fills the inside of the wood frame of the door. You could have had that for a mere $17,000.
Wow.
Was
Just
that
think how many
about
of those
now, or
got.
was that auctioned?
It was about now, yeah.
Just think how many of those got tore up and stuff because people. Oh, it's old. I don't want that anymore. You know, it's just a shame.
We could go on and on, Howard. Doorknobs, the window latches, all that stuff.
all that stuff. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, and we got a gentleman with us. Probably tore down a bunch of that stuff and saved a lot of it.
Right. And he tries to sell it on Swap and Shop.
Well, evidently he's doing all right.
I do good between it and the flea market.
There you are.
See?
Well, there's a demand for it. Is why he's doing good, and also that demand is what's kept this show on. You know, this fall will be 20 years, Howard.
You've been doing this 20 years?
Not as much as Swap and Shop, but we're 20 years old this fall.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I've got a rare Art Nouveau antique English stained glass window with a painted centerpiece of a lighthouse and stuff. So it's around the outside of it has flowers and a vine going around it. And this came from the United Kingdom. And it's the buy it now on that was $10,400. So free shipping.
Wow.
I'm telling you,
Free shipping.
there's still
At least.
there is still stained glass in Coffee County, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, actually, I even have a friend, Tammy O'Connor. Do you know Tammy? Who's
Wait a minute, I thought I was your only friend.
she's a stained glass artist in town, and
Yeah.
she's had some work done that was at the governor's mansion, and the Celtic Cup coffee shop in Tullahoma. All that pretty stained glass stuff. She did all that for them. She's like a true stained glass artist, and I even went. But she's even got stuff that I can afford. And at Christmas time, I went and got some stuff for my mom and for my daughter, just to have to hang around, put up in a window. So she doesn't have to do the big giant ones, but she's done some great work. So there's still people doing like real stained glass too.
Yeah, but finding the old vintage stained glass,
The old
There you go.
vintage items.
it's still here.
Well,
and
that's
I-
what,
and I
see,
bet
I'm
you- I
expecting
bet
to
you
keep
she's
hold
got
this
it.
for 100 years.
I bet she's got some of it.
She might, you know.
I bet-
don't know.
I bet she does.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I've got some. Let's see. This
Maybe
is-
we can get some of these listeners out hunting this stained glass.
There we go. I got a rare Art Nouveau. This is a Macintosh Rose pear, English side lights for stained glass windows. $5,000 or best offer. It got the $5,000 for the pair of those, and that came from the United Kingdom too.
Don't forget the free shipping. Was it
yeah.
free shipping?
Free shipping. There you go. Might have been the same
or
person.
free pickup.
A bunch of this is from. Here's a. Oh wow! Here's pretty beautiful custom handmade stained glass peacock windows. So these are peacocks with flowers and and just elaborate, big, tall stained glass windows with peacocks in them. $3,500 was for the pair of those. Here's a antique American stained glass transom, going above the door. This is, I guess a door's width and probably 2.5 feet tall. Really pretty. Like copper orange circles in the middles with red and green around the edges. $3,200 was the buy it now on that one. Free local pickup for that. Means you got to drive for it.
At least they don't charge you for the local pickup.
There you go. Yeah.
That's really nice of them, Howard. Hey, here's a pretty piece.
Not like David does. Antique Beauty and the Beast style. Art stained glass wood rose window sun catcher. So it looks like wood. It's a rose in the middle of it. It's really pretty nice piece. It's definitely came out of, like, you could say, an antique home. Yeah.
And it's got it's got the green in it for the vine.
Yeah. And it's got a wood colored rosebud on it, and it's just really nice design on that one. They were wanting $3,300, our best offer, and they got over $3,000 off of it.
Wow.
Here's a mid-century stained glass window, leaded Tiffany style landscape. This has a tree in the middle of it that's really unusual, going from edge to edge with the limbs going out, and I guess it's like an ocean back behind them. It's really nice. One bid on that only, but that was a $3,000 bid. So.
And by the way, for our listeners and viewers, he said Tiffany style, not Tiffany.
Not Tiffany.
No.
Those words get used a lot.
Right, yeah. Especially around here.
Yeah.
So here's
okay. Is it break time?
It's getting close. You want to wrap up, and then we'll...
Gigantic Tiffany Studios style stained glass magnolia floor lamp. So here's your nice Tiffany style floor lamp.
Yeah.
It's really pretty with the flower designs all over it, and rich blue and yellows and pinks. Two bids on that, $2,750 for a Tiffany style floor lamp.
Wow.
So,
but stained glass is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of it.
Take care of it. And if you have it in your house, don't do anything to hurt it.
And if you don't have it in your house, find you some.
Yeah, you could do that too. All right, let's take a quick little break here, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking!
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Well, we're back with Let's Talk Antiques, and what are we going to...
Well, we're going to do...
finish up on the
He found some really nice church stuff on stained glass.
Yeah.
And once we get 3 or 4 more of those, we're going to go to paint by numbers.
All right.
You remember that?
I remember that. I used to do that.
I've got a beautiful antique stained glass stencil window, circa 1920. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph window. Overall sizes are 81.5 inches tall by 35 inches wide. This window was removed from the frame and in stock for fast delivery. There you go. need to pick it up in Danbury, Connecticut. So 90-year-old stained glass. Let's see what it sold for $2,620, which to me doesn't seem like that expensive. For
you got
something
money.
that's such a piece of art. I mean, it's a huge
but
piece
you
of
got
art.
money.
It's 81 inches tall.
You rich people don't
There
think
you go,
$2,000 much money.
Yeah.
All right. And
T-
then
TV personality.
Yeah,
TV
they
personality.
they got it.
And then we got another one that's a large ornate stained glass arch church windows from Boston, circa 1905. And this is like it's framed, and there's three arch windows together. And so this is something that it's really pretty. It's not huge, but it's probably 4 foot by 3 foot, maybe something like that, and it's got hooks on it, so you can hang it in front of a window or something like that kind of deal. We've got another one that's an antique French stained glass leaded panel with the Sacred Heart in it. That went for nearly $3,000, and there's just a whole lot of stuff for around $2,500 that's just beautiful things that have been taken out of old churches that you could hang in front of your front window
Or over the fireplace or anywhere.
Well, you gotta have the light shining through it, though.
You really need the
But you can
sunlight to
backlight
come
it,
to really.
right?
Well, I guess
you could.
Yeah. You got a call?
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's say that those were just the ones I wanted to highlight before we jumped on. So you want to go to?
We're jumping from stained glass to paint by numbers.
Paint by numbers.
Now, paint by numbers
is what made all of us famous painters, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be a painter. But so he's got a little bit of history on it. And one interesting thing that I found about when I was reading the history on it was that during World War II, paint by numbers, they used that for therapy for the veterans, the wounded veterans.
I could see that. It's kind of calming and
Yes.
gives you something to do and get your mind off your worries, I suppose.
They even said before, it's not like it was in the 1900s this just started.
Yeah.
They said Da Vinci even put numbers on some of his paintings so that his students would know the color to paint it.
Oh, okay.
So
and
let's have the history on it.
Okay, so the modern paint by number kits, which have light blue or gray lines to indicate areas to paint, and each area has a number with corresponding numbers with the paint kit, were invented, developed, and marketed in 1950 by Max S. Klein, an engineer and owner of the Palmer Paint Company of Detroit, Michigan. Let's see. In March 1951, after shoppers of all ages descended on Macy's in New York City's Herald Square, though the holidays were over, eager customers packed in for a glimpse of the first in-store demonstration of a new craft product called Paint by Numbers. They swarmed the demonstrators and bought multiple kits without hesitation. Anyone present could see that the kit had mass appeal. As word of the frenzy reached the annual New York City Toy Fair taking place a few blocks away, orders began pouring in from retailers across the country. There was just one problem. The customers were fake, or at least mostly fake.
But it worked.
Yeah. The creators of the phenomenon would never know for sure, but the rush on Macy's was part of one of the most brilliant publicity stunts in the history of art or business. But the product itself was inspired by a different genius, Leonardo da Vinci. When Dan Robbins, the 13th employee of Detroit-based Palmer Paint Company, read that da Vinci taught his apprentices the basics of painting by using numbered patterns on a canvas, he suspected the idea might have a wider appeal. So he worked to put out a new product that would delight aspiring artists of all ages. Unfortunately, no one wanted his Craft Master Paint by Number kits. Most retailers feared customers wouldn't get the concept or wouldn't want such a remedial art project. Finally, S.S. Kresge, later Kmart, took a chance and placed a big order. But due to a packaging snafu, the paints for 2 kits got swapped. Colors identified for the fishermen ended up in boxes for the bullfighter.
Oh, no.
Hobbyists stared at the blue-caped matadors battling green bulls, wondering where it had all gone wrong.
Oh, no.
Hit with demands for refunds, Kresge canceled all future orders. Boy, I wonder if those kits there,
Well, they'd be good ones.
those are probably
Worth
be
some
good
money
ones.
today.
Yes.
Desperate to get his products back on the shelves, Palmer Paint knew it had to act fast. Max Klein, the company's founder, had an idea. Klein and Robbins started by asking the Macy's toy buyer to let them demonstrate their kits in store, promising that any unsold merchandise could be returned free of charge. So Macy's had nothing to lose by signing on. Then Klein hired 2 reps to grease a few palms. In his 1998 memoir, Whatever Happened to Paint by Numbers, Robin recalls Max gave each of the reps $250, telling them to hand it out to friends, relatives, neighbors, anyone that would be willing to go to Macy's to buy one of our craft master sets for $2.50. That was $500, more than enough money to buy all the kits in the store. Sure enough, the trick worked and customers flooded in, but Klein and Robbins forgot one detail. They didn't keep track of who had been given cash. In fact, they had no idea how many of the sets had been sold to their own plants and how many went to real customers caught up in the hysteria. Regardless, news of the sellout spread to buyers at the fair and orders skyrocketed. Fake sales begat real ones, and Paint by Numbers turned into a full-blown fad.
Yeah, it was real popular there for, in the 50s, because I can remember, that's about when I was painting them. I was 11, 12, 13, something like that.
What was some of your original artwork?
Well, I remember painting a ship, like a big sail ship, kind of like the USS Constitution, and there was some houses.
You said you did a landscape, but didn't you do a dog or
I think I did.
a horse or something?
A horse. I think it was a horse. I forget. I painted a bunch of them and gave them to all my aunts,
Christmas
uncles,
presents.
and they thought it was really cool, because I'd sign my name down the bottom, H.
Well, believe it or not, Howard, I have a few of those in my.
You have
building.
in your collection?
Yes.
Signed by me?
Not by you, but I'm going to buy a kit and let you paint it and then sign it.
Oh.
I've got a little league boy baseball player that I painted when I was about 10 that I took from my parents' house a couple of years ago when I was
it was popular because there was other companies came out with copies of his. His was in a nice big box, if I remember right. And it was Craftmaster or Craft something on it. I can remember the box.
Yeah, Craftmaster, you're right. Yeah.
And but there were little ones that come up, for like $1, where his was more expensive, $3 or $4, I guess, by then.
I bought my youngest daughter this last Christmas some Paint by Number sets off of eBay, and they have some beautiful ones, and it's actually on canvas.
Well, did she paint them?
Yeah, she's painted them, and they're like about 2 by 3.
Yeah, these pictures for the Craftmasters were.
She's done 3 out of 4 of them so far.
That's really good.
Yeah, so
how'd they turn out?
They turned out really nice. They're nicely made kits.
Yeah,
and,
good quality. Yeah. Now, I the one thing I do remember, it said something in there. If you want to preserve it, I don't know where I got that idea. You could shellac them. With clear
Remember they used to do that to balls when we was little kids.
Yeah.
Remember the baseball, they'd say put that shellac on it. Remember?
Yeah, and it kind of yellowed it if I remember right. And
so much for that.
But anyway, that's another story. But,
Yeah.
All right, let me finish. Critics and serious artists scoffed at the idea that you didn't need talent or training to make something worth hanging on a wall. But the rest of the country, it couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
Before long, Paint by Number landscapes and puppies had invaded the nation's living rooms. Fan mail from adults and kids poured in. One housewife from Maryland wrote, "My home is disgraceful, and I sit here all day and paint. I'm spending my husband's money, which I ought to be saving. Please send me a list of any new subjects you have." By 1954, Palmer Paint boasted $20 million in sales of its Craftmaster kits, had 1,200 employees, and dozens of competitors.
Yep.
But the company did more than profit from a novelty. It showed that even if you paint yourself into a corner, there's always a way to market your way out.
Yeah, they were fun, and they were popular.
And you said they're still doing it, right?
Yeah, there are. Yes.
But it even said there, Howard, about the low end.
Yeah.
That people, no matter what you got, somebody's going to try to figure out a cut way to do it.
Oh, of course.
And sell it to you cheaper,
Yeah.
but you won't have the quality.
You don't have the quality. And
What was the guy's name on public TV that you used to come on Channel 8?
Oh,
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. He actually would do those paintings. He'd send you canvas and paint.
Oh, really? I didn't remember that.
Painting instructions, but you'd get it, see, and you'd do your little painting while he was doing it.
Well, he was
Putting your
doing
happy
his.
cloud in.
Happy
Yeah.
Glass.
Happy clouds.
He was he seemed.
I think that show's still on. Of course, it's repeats.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
But
he's
he was
passed away.
he seemed
by
to be a
now.
really nice fellow. Oh no, he passed away.
Yeah, but you can still find it once in a while
Yeah.
on a PBS station somewhere.
Isn't it amazing how he made like the houses and the trees?
Yeah.
The happy little trees. Is that what he called them?
Yeah. It was always just,
Right here would be a good place for the little happy tree.
Yeah.
I remember being a little kid on Saturday or Sunday afternoon sitting around and watching it, and I can't believe I would just sit down and as a kid and watch
it's
that. But it was just
interesting.
calming and interesting,
Yeah.
How he could take, and the way he did it with he had like a not a scraper, what do you call that?
Spatula.
It's a knife.
It's like a knife,
some kind of
flat
knife.
knife, like it.
Paint knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would call it a scraper, but that's what it was, like a fat little wide flat blade knife.
Right. Yeah.
And he could make anything with that, couldn't
Yeah,
he?
he
The
did.
houses,
He was really good.
hey, waves
yeah.
on the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Birds.
So
Yeah.
I can see why Paint by Numbers became such a big success, don't you?
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody wants to be something,
Yeah.
a musician, an artist, or something.
There you go. That's what I'd say. The modern version of that is the video game where the kids play with the fake guitar, the
Oh, yeah.
Guitar
Yeah.
Hero.
Yeah.
thing.
Guitar Hero.
There you go. So that's your modern equivalent.
Well,
of
it's time again.
musicians.
Let's do it.
It's time for a break.
And we'll be
Alright.
back, and we're going to tell you about some not really high dollar, but some dollar value to these Paint by Numbers.
They were
Okay.
appreciated. So.
All right. We'll be right back.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy picking.
All right. We're going to paint by number still, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we typed in our paint by numbers on eBay here on some sold items.
Hey, see if you can, when you do the header, put Howard Clutter and see if anything signed comes up.
Well,
better.
we'll check that here. At
I
the-
doubt that, seriously.
All right, we got a vintage pair of paint by numbers Tropic Beauty of Hawaii with palm trees. This is a pair of paintings. 11 bids. $177.50.
Wow.
So there you go. Your $5 investment and some time.
I wonder if I still got those somewhere.
I bet you do.
Here's a here's another pair of paintings. Vintage paint by number, Indian Chief, and then a squaw with baby. 28 by 22. Oh wow,
big.
so those are pretty big ones. Yeah. That was $150 for the buy now.
Wow.
I mean, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they're nice. They're very nicely painted. And here's an unopened Four Seasons Paint by Numbers Craftmaster set from 1964, brand new, still sealed, sold for $100. I bet
And it was
I
what,
don't know
$5
if
or $6 back in the day.
You know, we have a local artist here, and he painted for a long time. Then he quit and he started back. James Harden.
Oh yeah.
And I was just curious. You think that he started out when he's a little boy doing the paint by numbers?
Is he still painting by numbers?
Well, I don't know about that, but I tell you what. now
I know he.
I'd say that he has really.
Yeah.
He is a real artist.
That's
But my question would be to him: when you was little, did you do the paint by numbers? I'm gonna have to ask him that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have an idea. A real art teacher would tell you don't do that because you develop bad habits. But I don't know that.
Well, they say that, but then look at the ones that turn out to be real artists.
Yeah, and some of the ones that are real artists, like Picasso, I don't know what those.
Well,
why is that?
Now that's what we come up with on the break. That we three are going to start our own company, Paint by Numbers, and we're going to. The ones we sell you are going to be the Picasso ones. So when you get done, you'll be a Picasso, right?
Right.
All right.
What about the elephants that they dips in the paint and splatters paint all over?
Or the chimps.
Or the chimpanzees, and they cut them into squares and sell them for thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're going to be able to do that with ours. Do you?
No.
Philip?
Okay, I got another one. It's Wintry Wolves paint by number kit. So this is an unused one. It's a 14 by 20. 10 bids on that for the $137.50.
Wow.
Man, these old unopened ones are worth a lot. The paint can't still be
See
good.
what?
It seems
It would
odd
depend-
to get,
even though it's been sealed, when it deteriorates.
But it's not about the paint.
No,
still.
it's
It's about the product.
yeah.
This says for Cindy only. A lot of 3 paint by number paintings. 14 by 20, 16 by 20.
They're big.
No frames. $130. Buy it now. So these are just they look like Thomas Kincaid style kind of ones. 2 Lassie paintings, classic paint by numbers, circa 1950.
Well,
with
that's
nice
the timing.
wooden frames. $125 for a pair of those.
Two different
Two different
poses.
Yeah, Lassie's got a profile and a front on. Vintage paint by number framed canvas of a what do you call it? The bridge that goes.
The covered
over
bridge.
Covered bridge. There you go. $120. A large paint by number, 26 1/4 by 20 3/4. Deer Lake birch trees, forests and mountains.
Kind of like what you done, Howard.
There you
Yeah.
go.
A landscape.
Yeah,
$100.
Huh.
Here's 2 large paint by numbers of Jesus' Last Supper. They only have a picture of one, but that's a really nice Last Supper painting.
Right.
$68. And here's the Four Seasons kit that sold for $100 unopened. Here's the painted version of that, which depreciated in value. It only they wanted $109 and it brought north of 90. So much on that.
So you're better off not to paint.
Right.
There you go. Here's a Last Supper kit. So
different
this
version.
hadn't been done. So that's the outside. So $103.80 for the unopened.
But that's a different version than the other one.
Yeah,
isn't it?
this is the wide scale version.
Yeah,
like
okay.
that's the copy of
Right.
the famous painting. Here's a 1958 paint by number cockatoo. 2 cockatoo birds in a tree. This looks completely 1950s paint by number style. $90 for that.
Wow.
What about the horses?
Here's 2. I guess it's the same jockey and his horse, and one with him standing next to his horse, and one with him riding on the back of it. This is a Craft Master kit. $89 for that. These are painted there. Here's a vintage.
You know, it's a pretty good investment for $250 each. isn't it?
Yeah, I wish I'd have bought dozens of them and
Yeah.
socked them away somewhere.
Here's one that says Vintage Pictures 1959 Craft Master paint by number, new old stock, artist nudes. There you go.
Whoa.
Could they get away with doing that with paint by numbers in 59?
Well, it's new old stock.
Yeah, but I mean 1959. I mean that seems like that'd be. You wouldn't be able to buy that at the local craft store.
Well,
Even though it's just a painting of
who said you
with
could?
gray lines. I don't know.
We're about out of time.
$75 with 14 bids. That was a
Give us the Lassie
bid.
one because we're out of time.
Yeah, we're running
Okay.
out of time.
All right, we
so-
got
A different version of Lassie.
We have a Collie Dog paint by number painting of the Loyal Companion Craftmaster kit, 19 inches by 22.5 inches, $75. Also, I say, if anybody has a Collie Dog, call in and let us know sometime. I've had a request to use one in a commercial, and I can't find a Collie anymore. Nobody
Really?
has Collies
Oh,
anymore.
my goodness.
There you go.
All right,
Just to
well,
throw
that
that
looks
in.
like about it for today. We'll be back next week with more Let's Talk Antiques.
Might as well.
And it just goes to show you, keep that stuff. Don't throw it away.
Ain't no numbers.
Don't throw away nothing.
Don't throw away nothing. Be a hoarder
Yeah.
like David.
Yeah, there you go.